Okay. Good evening and Happy New Year. Welcome to the City Council regular business meeting for January 13th, 2026. We are here this evening with our city attorney, Andrew Soming, city manager Blair King, city clerk Christine Brown, Ben on IT, and all 7 council members. City clerk, would you please call the roll?
Yes, thank you. Christine Brown, City Clerk. Please state for the record if you're present after I call your name. Councilmember Matthews.
Present.
Councilmember Nelson.
Present.
Councilmember Land.
Present.
Councilmember Fentroy Johnson.
Present.
Councilmember Hytopoulos.
Present.
Councilmember Morawaki.
Present.
Councilmember Schneider.
Present.
Thank you.
And seeing that we're all here, now it's time for presentations. And so we're now going to have the oaths of office for our new council members and returning council member, right?
Well, I think we want to start with Laura.
Okay.
Judge Alpha will be providing.
And Judge Thomas Alpa will be performing the oath of office, and we are going to begin with Laura Lant.
Okay, would you raise your right hand, please? Repeat after me. I, Laura Lant, do solemnly swear,
I, Laura Lant, do solemnly swear
citizen of the United States and of the state of Washington,
I am a citizen of the United States and the state of Washington,
that I am legally qualified to assume the office of City of Bainbridge Island, Council District 7,
I am legally qualified to assume the office of the City of Bainbridge Island, Council District 7,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
and I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and the laws of the state of Washington,
and all other laws applicable to the City of Bainbridge Island.
and all other laws applicable to the City of Bainbridge Island.
And that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office to the best of my ability.
And I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Laura. And now we'd love to give you the opportunity for some comments if you'd like to share anything with us.
Thank you, council members. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Administrator. I'm so grateful to be here today, and I'm very excited to take all of the comments I've heard in the last 6 months and work together with the people I've spoken with and the people here on this dais to work towards the betterment of this city. And thank you very much.
And now it's time for Mike Nelson.
Thank you. Would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Mike Nelson, do solemnly swear that I am a citizen of the United States and of the state of Washington,
I, Mike Nelson, do solemnly swear that I am a citizen of the United States and of the state of Washington,
that I am legally qualified to assume the office of City of Bainbridge Island Council District 3 South Ward,
that I am legally qualified to assume the office of City of Bainbridge Island, Council District 3 South Ward,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington, and all other laws applicable to the City of Bainbridge Island,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington, and all other laws applicable to the City of Bainbridge Island,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office to the best of my ability.
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mike, and we'd love to hear from you too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I will just simply say that it is an honor to serve the people of Bainbridge Island, and that I will always remember that this seat does not belong to me. It belongs to the people, and so I will always endeavor to listen to the people. Thank you.
Thanks so much. And now, Clarence Morawaki.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Clarence Morawaki, do solemnly swear that I am a citizen of the United States and of the state of Washington.
I, Clarence Moriwaki, do solemnly swear that I am a citizen of the United States and of the state of Washington,
That I am legally qualified to assume the office of City of Bainbridge Island Council District 5 Central Ward,
that I am legally qualified to assume the office of the City of Bainbridge Island Council District 5 Central Ward,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington, and all other laws applicable to the City of Bainbridge Island,
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington, and all other laws applicable to the City of Bainbridge Island,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office to the best of my ability.
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Councilmember Morawaki. Would you like to share any remarks with us?
Yeah, just a few.
Thanks.
First of all, thanks to all of the City of Bainbridge Island for asking me, allowing me to have a second term. I really appreciate that vote of confidence. And I'm also looking forward to working with our two new council members, getting to know one and knew one really well for a while. And the one comment I just want to make, I just read it, that we support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington, and all other laws applicable to the City of Bainbridge Island. We stand by the rule of law, and we can do that here. There's stuff outside that's happening that's really crazy. I mean, I haven't looked at my phone. I don't know if we've gone to war yet or not. But this is something that we all believe in. And while there's a lot of stuff outside that we can control, we can make our community great. And we can set an example of what it is to truly govern well and to stand by the laws that we all agree to uphold. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, thank you, Councilmember Morawaki. And now at this time, I'm calling for nominations from City Council for the position of mayor as contemplated and authorized by RCW 35A 13-030. Each member of the council may nominate one person from the council and no second is required. Councilmember Schneider.
Thank you, Mayor, so far. I would like to nominate Clarence Morawaki. He's been a beloved member of our community since long before he's been on council.
Okay. No second is required. So I guess we just vote. All those, are there any other nominations? Seeing none? All those in favor of Clarence Morawaki for mayor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Seeing none, congratulations, Mayor Morawaki.
So at this time, we'd like to switch seats in terms of let the new mayor take the seat, but we also want to recognize the outgoing mayor. So just for a second, I'm going to stand up.
Okay.
We have a gavel for Ashley, want to give you, and also we're just proud to give you some flowers for your service. Thank you. Yeah, you go ahead and say something.
Okay, and then I'm gonna say a couple things.
What did you want to say? something?
Yeah, I was gonna say works. Just a minute. Okay. Of course, my computer closed with my remarks that I wanted to say. Okay. Good evening, friends, neighbors, colleagues, and family. Serving as mayor of Bainbridge Island has been one of the greatest honors of my life. As I began my term, I knew the responsibility was significant, but I could not have fully understood the depth of trust this community would place in me, nor the ways this role would change me as a person. My goals when I begun were simple: to always show up, to listen, to respond to each and every call and email, and to lead with love. I hoped I achieved that. Bainbridge Island is not just the place we live. It's a place that we care for together. It's shaped by ferry rides and forest paths that we might bike on, walk on, ride our horses on, by long conversations and strong opinions, very strong opinions, by artists, educators, elders, children, small business owners, volunteers, and people who quietly show up day after day to make this island work. During my time as mayor, we faced moments of real challenge. We navigated uncertainty, disagreement, and change. We also experienced moments of deep solidarity, neighbors helping neighbors, residents engaging thoughtfully, even when we disagreed, and a shared commitment to the long-term health of this community. I'm proud of the work that we've done together. Not because it was perfect, but because it was rooted in listening, collaboration, and care, and that word you kept hearing me say, love. We strengthened civic processes, invested in community resilience, and worked to ensure that decisions reflected not just the needs of today, but the future we are shaping for those who come after us. Public service is never the work of one person. I want to thank the City Council, past and present, for your partnership, your rigor, and your willingness to wrestle with difficult questions. To our city staff, your professionalism, creativity, and dedication are the quiet engine of this city. Bainbridge Island works because of you. And Blair King, you set a very high bar, and it was a privilege to sit to your right. To our community partners, nonprofit leaders, boards, commissions, and volunteers, you are the connective tissue of this island. Your commitment is a reminder that democracy doesn't only live in City Hall, it lives in classrooms, kitchens, trails, and meeting rooms across the island. I also want to thank my family and loved ones. Public service asks a great deal, not only of the person serving, but of those who stand beside them. I want to especially thank my husband, Scott, who I see back there. Your patience, encouragement, and grounding presence made this work possible. So as I conclude this term, I do so with gratitude, so much gratitude, and with confidence in Bainbridge Island's future and in Clarence for leading us. This community is thoughtful, engaged, and deeply invested in one another. We may not always agree, but we share a profound love for this place and a belief that how we govern matters. Leadership is temporary, community is enduring. My hope is that we continue to lead with curiosity, with kindness, with courage, and love, especially when it's difficult. So thanks for trusting in me, thanks for showing up, and thank you for reminding me every day what it means to serve in a community that cares so deeply about its home and about each other. It's been my honor. Thank you. Triple chairs happening now.
Just personal privilege. Outgoing Mayor Ashley Matthews, that may be one of the nicest speeches about our community I've ever heard. Thank you. All right. And so the next item that we have on our agenda is appoint a deputy mayor. So I'm opening up the nominations for deputy mayor. These do not have to be seconded. And of course, it could be multiple nominations if you wish. Councilmember Leslie Shiger.
I nominate Leslie.
I was about to nominate Kirsten.
So is that a withdrawal of the previous?
Yeah, that'll be a withdrawal. Thank you.
So the nomination by Councilmember Fratlow Johnson, as well as it was intended, the person who's nominated does not wish to hold that seat. And so now Councilmember Scheider has nominated Councilmember Hytopoulos. Is there another nomination? This does not have to be seconded, so I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations. Kirsten. Yeah. Before we go into inception, I'd like to make a few comments. It is a remarkable thing that in 4 years, our community had its first Black woman mayor, and then its second Black woman mayor, and now its first Asian mayor. And what I think is so remarkable is that it's not remarkable, that this community is what it is. I had to highlight those backgrounds of which this is what we look like, this is who we are. But I don't think this community looks in that filter. We're just public servants that care about our community. And I think that says the world about our community, since collectively, I think we represent 6% of the population. So that's fantastic. And I think that's a model, again, in my previous comments, that we have this extraordinary community, as outgoing Mayor Ashley Matthews said. And that's something that we should really cherish. It's something that really can be an example. And many of you know how long I've been working on the story of Japanese Americans on this island. That support and that ideal, which was unusual, if not unique in the entire country, set a standard about believing in the Constitution, supporting your friends and neighbors, despite of a tide of racism. And it was an executive order from the President of the United States that nobody opposed. But this community said no. So I'm really proud of that part of our community and proud to serve with all of you folks. And so with that, unless you would like to say some things, new Mayor? All right, so let's go have some treats. Let's go to a reception. Thank you. Councilmember Nelson, are you within earshot? Oh, yeah, sorry. Wait, I got to sign. I'll sign it. No, sure, it's fine. That's it. Yeah, fine. No, no. Where's? Where's? Can someone find Councilmember Nelson? Okay. Bringing the meeting back to order. The next item on the agenda is approval of tonight's business agenda. Accept the motion.
I move that we approve the agenda as written.
Councilmember Brownell Johnson,
Second.
move approval, seconded by Councilmember Hytopoulos. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the chair votes aye. Right. And anything from any of our members to talk about conflict of interest or any appearance of fairness issues? Thank you very much. And the next item would be a proclamation for the recognizing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day on January 19th, 2026, and it'll be presented by Councilmember Franklin Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. Proclamation by the City Council of the City of Bainbridge Island, Washington, recognizing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day on January 19th, 2026. Whereas the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who was born on January 15, 1929, and was assassinated on April 4th, 1968, dedicated his life to promoting peace, freedom, equality, and justice through nonviolence. And whereas Dr. King and the Civil Rights Movement helped change public policy from segregation to integration, resulting in the repeal of the post-Reconstruction era state laws mandating racial segregation in the South, known as the Jim Crow laws, thereby leading to the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and other laws aimed at ending economic, legal, electoral, housing, education, transportation, employment, and social discrimination in America. And whereas in 1983, after years of federal hesitance to honor Dr. King with a national holiday, but with swelling public support, including Coretta Scott King, the Congressional Black Caucus and Stevie Wonder amassing a 6 million signature petition, and Stevie Wonder's hit song, Happy Birthday, legislation was passed to celebrate Dr. King's birthday and legacy as a national event on the third Monday of January. And whereas Dr. King believed that service was the soul's highest purpose, and once said life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And whereas people across all 50 states will answer that question by coming together to honor Dr. King by helping their neighbors and communities through thousands of service projects. And whereas local, national, and international events show us that racial discrimination and violence persists. And that now, as much as at any time, Dr. King's call for radical structural and social change should be heeded by all. And whereas the Bainbridge Island Museum of Art's annual MLK celebration is on Sunday, January 18th, hosted by the Kitsap Black Student Union, Kitsap Erase, and the Living Arts Cultural Heritage Project. And whereas Bainbridge Island residents are encouraged to observe the holiday, not only by attending the BEMA event, but also by actively serving others and working towards ending racial oppression every day. Now, therefore, I, on behalf of the mayor of the city of Bainbridge Island, on behalf of the city council, do hereby proclaim Monday, January 19th, 2026, as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day in the city of Bainbridge Island, Washington, in recognition of his birth, life, and death, and ask everyone to celebrate this day by continuing to daily live his dream. Signed on this day, October, Lord, where am I? January 13th, 2026, by the mayor. This is going to be presented to Akuye.
Here for always paying homage. We want for this 2026, during this semi-quincentennial 250th commemoration of our nation, to understand those that have made tremendous sacrifice. We want to honor Miss Pat Wright, who started Sing Out in Martin Luther King's celebration here over 20 years ago. She came every year to bring our community together, to sing together, to fellowship, to break bread, to spend time, to get to know one another, to break down that. We work diligently with the Filipino community to bring our community together and really break down barriers and talk about some difficult, challenging things. And I think it's fitting that during this 2026 semi-quincentennial, that we pay homage to those that are no longer with us. She's gone on to be with the ancestors, but we always want to acknowledge her sacrifice of service to this Bainbridge Island community and to all the diverse communities. She was so intentional about bringing us together across our differences. And I want to acknowledge this city council for always supporting the efforts of equity, the efforts of what's right, the efforts of how to be able to come together across our community to address difficult things. And for that, I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thanks for your wonderful comments. And as addressed in the proclamation read by Councilmember Franklin Johnson, there will be a big event on Martin Luther King Day. And I would like to thank Councilmember Franklin Johnson to be a participant and to reread that proclamation at that event on the city's behalf.
Thank you. I just wanted to say one thing about the proclamation. The addition of the Stevie Wonder song that he wrote in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. is sometimes wrongly perceived as being, the African-American happy birthday song, but it was written on behalf of Dr. Martin Luther King. And I just have to say, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, you got to come up here. We need one more Supreme up here to sing it. Thanks very much. And now we have a time for public comment. Anybody in the public who would wish to come forward, or are there any sheets that have been brought to us? You'll have 3 minutes. Please address the council directly. We will not comment on your, if you have anything to say. And I'm getting a list. Thanks, Christine. Okay. First person we have is Angela Sandri.
Correct.
Here you are.
Hi.
Thank you.
As I say, and I'm Angela Sondry, and I am a 47-year resident of Bainbridge Island. As more and more information comes out about the questionable and shady and despicable practices of LIHI, or Low Income Housing Institute, I would like to read my recent letter to the council and the Bainbridge Review. The lead article in the latest, or one of the latest, Bainbridge Review about the looming 625 Winslow decision adds no clarity to the poor proposal for an affordable housing solution. The author, Laughlin Taylor, rambles on and on about the complexities of the plan with her statement, "We call them 3 legs of a stool," depending on your definition of the final word of that sentence. We have the answer to whether such an offensive proposal makes sense. We cannot destroy something good, the beauty and character of Bainbridge Island, for a project, a 6-story monstrosity that will not begin to solve the affordable housing issue, but will create more congestion and a traffic disaster. Further, we have an obligation to abide by the principles of our present comprehensive plan. Please acknowledge that the city's initial approval of this project is not in the best interests of Bainbridge Island, and vote no on its continuance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Angela. Next is Dennis Garlick. That's correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dennis. My names get screwed up all the time too.
You did well, thank you. Hello, my name is Dennis Golick, and first I'd like to congratulate the new council members and the returning members, and especially the mayor and the deputy mayor. Also, the staff that supports them. I'd like to speak briefly about the good job that the Planning Commission has been doing for the city. In reviewing the Kitsap County and the city's current approaches to using methodologies in planning, it is clear that the Planning Commission has taken a very professional and measured approach to serving the city. I commend them for that, and the commission has done a very good job. With all the cities in Kitsap County they currently operate under a unified regional framework for growth management, but they do not use identical methodologies. And that's okay. It's appropriate for each city to do what is appropriate for their place. According to the Kitsap County planning policies, jurisdictions must use a consistent framework, but this is key. Individual cities have the choice and the discretion to apply different assumptions and local variations based on the unique geography and development patterns. There is a need for regional consistency. I think we all see that. But you have to allow for local variation. The Kitsap County Land Capacity Analysis serves the primary instrument for our growth. We're all aware of this. However, the application of this mechanism varies. Port Orchard and Poulsbo, they generally adhere to this policy. However, Bainbridge Island and Bremerton, on the other hand, they use the LCA as a framework, and then they apply different definitions and other factors, basically for environmental critical areas, density, and so forth. A couple key methodology differences do appear. For instance, there's the individual cities, Bainbridge Island and Bremerton, they have specific approaches, as well as density. For instance, Winslow has a specific way they approach it. The regional measure requirements, they specify if a city's methodology shows that they are not meeting their growth targets, they can and they are required to adopt reasonable measures. In this case, the city has our sub-area plan, and Bremerton has their SKI industrial analysis. I believe that the Planning Commission is wise to apply a general approach and to use averages where appropriate, but to use specific actual data where it's appropriate. Using multiple methodologies makes sense for the city, given our unique situation.
Dennis, we have you over 3 minutes.
Yep, I support how the Planning Commission does. I think they're doing an excellent job.
Thank you, thank you. Richard, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it correctly. So would you please come forward? Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Richard Velasquez. So good evening, council members and community members. I serve as the chair of the Bainbridge Island Ferry Advisory Committee. I wanted to briefly share 3 items that I think are important to the community. First, Washington State Ferries currently has an open application process related to upcoming schedule updates for the Bainbridge Island route. This is a formal opportunity for riders and residents to provide direct input, and I encourage anyone with feedback to participate through the official channels so your voice can be part of the record. The deadline to apply is February 2nd. We, the Ferry Advisory Committee, created a Facebook page to keep the community informed, but realizing that not everyone is on Facebook, we wanted to bring it up here so that more community members can know and those interested can apply. Second, for those who may not be familiar with the Ferry Advisory Committee, the FAC is a fully volunteer group. We don't make operational or policy decisions. Our role is to listen, gather community perspectives, and convey that input to Washington State Ferries in a thoughtful and constructive way. And I'd like to, my final thing is to gently encourage civility, especially in online conversations. These are stressful issues that affect daily life, and frustration is understandable, but we're most effective when we engage with one another and with public servants, and especially volunteers, respectfully and in good faith. So thank you for your time and for caring so deeply about the ferry system in our community. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Richard. And next is Pasquale Shoebank.
Good evening. I'll give you a quick reference to my name. It's Passing California and give me my shoe back. Sorry, been living with that for 50 years. Good evening, council members and other members of the community. My name is Pascal Shoeback. I'm resident on the island. My day job is an emergency manager, and I also support Bainbridge Repairs. I wanted to come out tonight to, one, welcome the new council members, work with the new council as a collective as a whole, but also to thank Blair for his time and work in serving the emergency management community as kind of a dark, unknown environment. Unless you really need us is when you get to really know us. And the service that he's done to us in emergency management for this community has made me comfortable as a resident, but also as an emergency manager, knowing that we have support from the city, from the council, but also in this unique partnership that we have with fire, with the Bainbridge, with Hobie and Bainbridge Repairs. The establishment of the Emergency Operations Center was a huge forward movement for the city, and his insight from his past services in other communities has really resonated that to our community here. The technology that we have in the EOC, the volunteerism that came in to help install everything to put it together really shows how community comes together. Having seen some of the devastations of the flooding in other states in my day job, in the response and changes in the FEMA community and cycles of how that operates has been a drastic change. And knowing that we have the ability to come together in a small room, but it's a room and we can expand to be able to identify those challenges to serve our communities, just as Martin Luther King has said to us, we need to serve and go do and help other people. This is that ability we have in that EOC. So we first thank you, Blair, for your time and your push in doing that and all the pushing that I did to help get it there. But also the council members for your help in supporting the hub trailers, the neighborhood communities, just Bainbridge Repairs as a whole, but also supporting Ann as your city emergency manager and being able to support us as collectively as an island. We are working together with a lot of volunteer hours, a lot of volunteers who are just willing to serve. As an example, just the last week during the New Year's holiday, 6 to 7 volunteers showed up multiple times in 4 or 5 days to help start building a hub shed for the Fort Ward community and providing a space for them to have water reserves for the emergency need, for having the emergency supplies that they need, in a place that could be easily cut off from the services from the rest of the island, which would also be cut off from the services of the county and other communities. So seeing that volunteerism come in on a holiday, willingness to smash their thumb with a nail or any other thing, no injuries were done, but potentially were there. But that really shows the demonstration of our island community in serving others just randomly. They were not just members of the neighborhood community. They were members from all over the island who came together to serve this way. So it's a great example that we see through Bainbridge Repair serving the island and that partnership together. So we thank you very much for that. At the same time, just as a resident, I appreciate the openness of the community forum, the council, and the work you do. I know the challenges you deal with as council members and open government officials, and I appreciate that work that you do. And we're here to help support you in any way we can in helping building the resiliency on the island and providing and educating those around us about the serious needs that we have on the island that are potential if we lose certain features of this island or catastrophic earthquakes happen in that way that we should be thinking about. So I look forward to working with you through Ann and the partnership and helping educate you on those capabilities, and anything we can do to help, we appreciate it. And again, thank you, Blair, and best of luck in retirement. I'm hopefully soon behind you, 10 or 15 years behind, but I'll get there eventually. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Thanks for your comments and service. Are there any public comments requested online? All right, thank you. And anybody in the audience that did not sign up would like to speak?
I would like to make a public comment, please. My name is Jim Halbrook. We have established an aggressive goal of reducing our community greenhouse gas emissions 90% by 2045 compared to 2014 levels, with an interim milestone of 25% reduction by 2025. This preposterous claim is from the Kobe Climate Action Plan. 2025 has come and gone, and I'd be surprised if we haven't increased emissions 25% relative to 11 years ago. It is my contention that the city's climate action plan is but one example of corruption run amok in this municipal government. The climate action plan lists 180 silly actions to meet these foolish emission goals, yet not a single one addresses the underlying cause of so-called climate change, namely environmental degradation. There isn't time to highlight the stupidity of the climate action plan, so instead I'll focus on the grotesque corruption. On page 14, it states, use the Eco-Adapt climate change adaptation certification tool in Kobe decision-making. The executive director of the nonprofit Eco-Adapt put this language in the climate plan when she served on the committee. Blair King then awarded Eco-Adapt thousands of dollars in taxpayer money, even though the city law prohibits graft. When I pointed this out, the city did nothing. In fact, the Ethics Review Board found no problems whatsoever in this behavior. Of course not, because there exists no recourse for government abuse and corruption. The Ethics Review Board and the hearing examiner all work for or are paid by the city, not dissimilar from the way the judicial system never holds government criminals to account. Why should Bainbridge Island elites be denied the same opportunities as our imbecile criminal president? Have you forgotten how Harrison Hospital CEO and board of directors donated thousands of dollars to Cole Medina's charitable foundation, only to have Medina lobby for the city to overpay the Harrison Hospital by millions of dollars to buy its clinic for our police station? Or how Mayor Joe Dietz voted to award an $8 million contract to build a police station to his largest campaign donor? This is why I believe city elites who operate in this palace of prostitution are liars and cheats. Do you wonder why the city puts out misleading and fantastic claims regarding greenhouse gas emissions, while also demanding we support their desire to increase our population 50% and erect 6-story buildings in Winslow?
I'm going to interject.
My conclusion.
Pardon me, I'm interjecting. You've made some derogatory facts.
My conclusion, filthy, greedy, corrupt, self-serving money-making. And this is what I think of the quality of the work and the integrity produced by the Climate Change Advisory Committee, the Ethics Board, the Planning Commission, the city manager, and most of all, the city council. Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the public who would like to use this moment for public comment? Seeing none, public comments closed. Now move to the next agenda item, the consent agenda. Well, council announcements, pardon me. No, consent agenda, yeah. Consent agenda, is there a motion for approval of consent agenda?
I make a motion that we accept the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of the approval of consent agenda as presented, say aye.
Right.
Aye.
All those opposed? I have 6 votes yea, and I vote yea. Next item, council announcements. Floor is open. Anyone like to speak? Councilmember Scheider.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a real quick thing. I sent a note through Christine about the Puget Sound Regional Council's letter asking for elected officials and others to sign on for supporting ferry funding. And there's a concern that we don't exceed our we don't want to create a quorum doing that. So I think right now we have 2 council members that myself and you've already signed as well. Okay, so we've achieved our sub quorum, so nobody else gets to sign the letter. Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, then. Now we move to the city manager's report.
Yes,
Mr.
thank you,
Manager?
Mr. Mayor. I wanted to, the council's aware, but I just want to make sure we made the public aware that this past week on January the 8th, there was a sewer spill on Fort Ward Road. The spill was a result of machinery hitting the sewer line. About 1,000 gallons was spilled. It did not reach any waterway at all. It was cleaned up. The pipe was repaired within the day. The agencies that we are required to report to, the reports were provided, and we have conducted an after action evaluation on how the pipe was struck by construction equipment. Also, the council will receive on February the 10th a report from, excuse me, about a Department of Ecology storm drain audit. Department of Ecology provided a random performance audit of our NPDS program, provided a variety of helpful recommendations in terms of performance. The performance areas could be divided into about 3 or 4 different categories, including good housekeeping items, items related to mapping, items related to enforcement. Again, the council will receive that report. If anyone's interested, on the city's website under the Stormwater Management Plan, a copy of the audit and our response is available for public review.
Thank you, City Manager. Now we're moving to communications. There are 2 items that are being presented. The first is a request from Councilmember Nelson to add a discussion of land capacity analysis methodologies to a future City Council business meeting.
Point of information, Mayor, would you prefer I start with a motion?
You may, if you wish.
Okay. I move to add the agenda item described in agenda item 12A on today's agenda regarding land capacity analysis methodologies to the January 27th City Council meeting.
A second.
Moved and seconded for discussion.
It's-
Councilmember Hitopoulos? No. Councilmember Brenda Fowler Johnson.
Is this for discussion? We're moving it to an agenda for discussion.
The motion as presented by Councilmember Nelson says that it will be moved and placed on a business agenda and a date certain, January 27th. That's what the motion says. Who was second? Was it Councilmember Hitopoulos or?
I second.
Oh, Councilmember Matthews?
Mhm.
You were next to speak.
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, okay. All right. Councilmember
If
Hightower.
I could, and I actually did mention this to the motion maker, this is kind of an intersection of something that came out of the steering committee that might be helpful, that maybe we could have talked about at council announcements, although strictly speaking, I think this would be a committee report. But that would be that there was some real interest from the steering committee to take your motion forward to the third, to actually have a study session on the third, move potentially either or both motions, we'd have to hear from staff to that, and combine that, roll that into a larger study session on the comprehensive plan, allowing the council to receive our regular update there, as well as create an opportunity for all of us to kind of give some feedback, and we could discuss that further, but a lot of people on both, I think, well, on the steering committee were feeling, and probably on the rest of the council are feeling, that we may need to give a little bit of feedback at this point before things go much further in the comprehensive plan. So sorry to kind of butt in there, except to maybe help support the motions that are before us, or the topics to move forward, but into a different form than the 27th, which is why I didn't want to second it.
Thank you, Councilmember Happels. Councilmember Scheidler.
Thank you. I was going to say basically the same thing, and if I could, I support the discussion. Generally, we try not to put a specific date on it. It turns out that the 27th is jam-packed. And so if I could make a friendly amendment that it move to a meeting as the mayor and city manager see fit with, so that's my motion. And my assumption is that it would go to a study session on the 3rd.
A point of order, shouldn't.
Wait, there's no point of order. There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Is there a second to the amendment?
I can always point of order. There's no friendly amendment. She needs to make a motion to amend the motion.
I think that was the intent of the council member. That was going to be a motion for a friendly amendment. Is that correct? That was your intent?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So there's an amendment that needs a second? No.
I'm going to second it as stated.
Okay, so this is the appropriate process. It is an amendment to the previous motion. Councilmember Scheidler said in effect that this should be moved to the discretion of the city manager, mayor, and deputy mayor for future agenda placement. If that's an incorrect interpretation of your motion, Councilmember Scheidler, just thank you. So that has been moved and seconded. This is up for discussion and a vote. So any comments on Councilmember Scheidler's motion? Councilmember Hightower.
I would like to specifically get the council's feedback on and buy-in, hopefully, on moving this to the 3rd, because this is our kind of only opportunity tonight to do that. And if we're going to have a meeting on the 3rd, we need to get moving on it. So I would ask Councilmember Schneider to consider withdrawing that motion and allow a motion to change the date to study session on the 3rd.
I'm happy to withdraw it. Would it be wise to check in with the city manager? I mean, I know that this will be past his time of being present with us.
Yes, I'll be having a pina colada on the 3rd.
May I join you?
But through the chair, there is no other business proposed for that date, and that's something that could be accommodated.
Okay, so I withdraw.
Okay. The motion still stands, but it still says that the date would be January 23rd.
Yep, so she withdrew.
Yeah, she withdrew. Yes. Oh, Councilmember Hightower.
I would move that the date in the motion that had been made by Councilmember Nelson be changed to February 3rd.
I second.
There's been moved to replace that date from January 27th to the February 3rd study session. It has been seconded. So now the motion has been amended. Now back to the previous question as amended. Councilmember Nelson, it's a statement that have a discussion of land use capacity analysis methodologies to be on the February 3rd study session meeting. Is that a correct interpretation of the motion?
Correct.
Okay, so that's now on the floor. Any further discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. Council votes 6-0 and the chair votes yay. So it's 7-0. Next item on the agenda is request from Councilmember Nelson to add for discussion on whether the Planning Commission's recommendations to the Winslow Sub-Area Plan are consistent with Resolution 2025-18 to the January 27th, 2026 City Council Business Meeting. Is there a motion? Yeah, Councilmember Nelson.
I move to add the agenda item described in agenda item 12B on today's agenda regarding compliance with resolution 2025-18 to the February 3rd study session meeting.
Second.
So the motion by the original maker has been amended to have this on the February 3rd study session. So the motion's on the floor. Any discussion? I'll call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So that is 6-0 and the chair votes yea. So it is 7-0. Okay, now we will move to executive session. The council will adjourn to executive session pursuant to RCW 42.30.110 parens 1 for 30 minutes to discuss with legal counsel representing the agency matters relating to agency enforcement actions, or to discuss with legal counsel representing the agency litigation or potential litigation to which the agency, the governing body, or a member acting as an official capacity is or is likely to become a party when public knowledge regarding the discussion is likely to result in adverse legal or financial consequence to the agency. And the council is expected to return at, what time is it now? It's, I would say, 30 minutes maximum. Council is adjourned to executive session.
make an announcement that we're extending. Yeah.
Your audio is. Wow.
The council has a 30-minute point of the announcement of the executive session. We need to continue, so we will expend this to another 10 minutes. Back from our break from executive session, the council desires a bit more time for this executive session. I believe we will shoot for 10 minutes, no later than 8:15.
We missed you.
The city council has returned from executive session, and I will adjourn the meeting.